Oh, there we are. What's up, YouTube? Hello, YouTube. Hello, world. We are going live. This is an impromptu live video. Right now, I'm going to be taking some of your questions live in the chat. But if you're watching this and it's no longer live and you have questions or guest suggestions, put those down below this video, and that could be the topic of the next live video. The live videos, one of the things I'm doing on this channel are these live videos, but mostly I'm doing podcast interviews with lottery winners and other people that have overcome the odds, and just fascinating people, as well as covering some of the latest craziest lottery winner news from all around the world. So that's what this channel is all about. But from time to time I do these impromptu lives as a way to connect with you guys live, and it's a lot of fun. So we're gonna have some fun here for a few moments and see who we can. Oh, I see someone from London, England. Hello, thank you so much for your support from England. Who just watched, there was an interview that was just released on this podcast a couple of days ago with a TikToker who released a video where she said that she had won the Euro Millions, that she had won, I believe it was 70 million, but it was a manifesting. She believes in manifestation. So she produced this video as a way in her belief to help manifest an actual win, to understand what it would feel like to win. But a lot of people did not understand that she hadn't won. They thought that she actually had won. And the media picked up the story. That's where I saw I saw this in the media. So I reached out to her. I was like, hey, do you want to give an interview? I really want to interview you on this podcast. And then I came to understand what was actually happening, which was that she made this video on manifestation. But it was very interesting because several media outlets picked it up as if she had already won. So I interviewed her about this. And the podcast interview was just released a couple of days ago. If you haven't watched that, you're going to want to check that out. But I have so many interviews coming soon on this channel. It's mind blowing. I just thought about it this morning. Within the last, I think, 30 days, maybe a little bit longer, but within the last few weeks, I've interviewed several people, like lottery winners, just lottery winners themselves, people that have collectively won jackpots of over $200 million. But beyond that, I've interviewed other people that have won these prizes that are extraordinary as well. I have someone that just won. Well, she didn't just win it, but she speaks about winning this prize package to meet Oprah Winfrey. And she very much believes in manifestation and that sort of thing. Another person that won what's known as the Super Bowl of rodeo, and a prize package worth a significant amount of money with that. But he also was very much into manifestation. It's very interesting. And someone that believes he was affected by sudden wealth syndrome, which is a psychological term. Some people are like, what is that? What is sudden wealth syndrome? And that's something a lot of people would like to be perhaps afflicted by, but it's an interesting psychological term, and it has to do with certain things, such as even having guilt for having won a major prize. And I'm not saying that this person felt that, but it's an interesting topic. So watch for those videos coming soon. So as we speak, I'm going to get to some questions live in this video here shortly. But as we speak right now, May 24th, 2023, the Powerball jackpot in the United States is a staggering $190 million. Oh man, that is almost like $250 million. And what else is happening tonight? Lotto 649 in Canada, 30 million. Mega Sena in Brazil, 39 million up for grabs tonight. And I believe in Mexico, the Malate, it's the most popular lottery in Mexico. Malate, 66 million. Mega Millions in the United States this coming Friday, 169 million. So between the Powerball and the Mega Millions, I mean, it is quickly growing. And these jackpots just continue to grow to these staggering amounts. I made a video about why. I will put a link to that above, maybe when this is when this is no longer live. of why that's happening. But it's very interesting. These jackpots are ballooning to astronomical amounts. Someone actually just won a jackpot worth over $2 billion in California not too long ago. I covered that as well, and would love to get him on this channel to interview him if he's available. But the Euro Millions this Friday, Euro Millions, 77 million euro. That could change a lot of lives. Lotto Max in Canada this coming Friday, 60 million. And in Canada, as well as other places as well, it's tax free, which is pretty awesome. It's heavily taxed, as we know, in the United States, if you win a lottery prize. But let me know your guest suggestions in the comments of this video. I definitely love checking out your guest suggestions. I'm going to be getting to some live questions too, but some people left. So one of the things I do on these live videos is actually take questions from the previous video for people that were not able to watch live. So I'm going to get to a couple of those real quick, and then we will jump into this live chat. So let's see here. So Suede Knight says, what's the minimum winnings it would take to get interviewed by you? 10,000, 5,000, 500? I don't mind telling you, I'm fairly decent at winning my $1 back. So Suede Knight. First of all, I love that name, Suede Knight. So there is no minimum amount to be interviewed. It's about the story. It's about what is your story. I've interviewed people that have won over $100 million. I've interviewed people that have won, I don't know what the lowest amount is, but, less than $1 million. And I think it's the story, and it's how it affects one's life and how it happens, because that's very interesting as well. Many people know that I'm very much, I had a dream about winning and then it happened, but other people have these crazy, crazy stories that are very, very interesting. I just interviewed someone yesterday, in fact, that won 45 million in New York, but before it happened, he had a dream about it and other experiences. Like, he heard a voice and everything, and his story is so interesting for so many more reasons than that. But that's one of the things that makes it very interesting. So let's get to another question here from Shorty Duop, who also has an awesome name, Shorty Duop, who says, I missed the live. I wanted to ask you about how you became spiritual. Were you more religious than spiritual at some point? And if so, why did the change take place? Love your channel. So Shorty Duop, I've never been super, super religious, but I've always been spiritual and believed that we're part of something greater. I'm very much into prayer and that sort of thing. So that's for me. If you're watching this, you're anti-atheist or whatever you are. I respect everyone else. I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything, but you asked the question, and yes, I'm a very spiritual person. Okay, so Keon 25 says, Timothy, since you were 21 years old, 21-year-old lottery jackpot winner who went public, and did you get a lot of, first of all, and yes, I did, but I don't believe I had a choice. I believe I had to come out publicly. So that's how that happened. But if I had a choice, would it have been public? I don't know. It might have been, but I'm not sure. Okay. But your question is, did you get a lot of extra attention from women? A 21-year-old multimillionaire can have just about any woman he wants. So Keon 25. So that's an interesting question. And so I've been working on this book that is not released. It's not out yet. But within that, when I have been working on it, I've been doing some introspective thinking about how that changed love life, especially right after it happened. And I have to say that for me, my dating life was actually better before I won the lottery, because I basically, I don't know. I mean, I was a gas station clerk making a little over minimum wage, but I did not have any trouble in the dating department in spite of that. But after I won, yes, there are plenty of people that wanted to date me, but I had a really difficult time trusting people that they wanted me for the right reasons. So it took a little bit for me to, I think, psychologically relearn how to trust people. So that's how it was for me. But I do want to get to some of these live. Let's get to this live chat, because I know this is blowing up here. All right. So here we go. Quick question. Do you think winning the lottery numbers has anyone won today? Kathy Stewart. So a lot of the lotteries, at least in this side of the world, have not happened yet. So they are happening at the beginning. Oh my gosh. Before I go any further, now that I'm looking at this, someone gave a super worth $220 from NZ. That is so unbelievably generous and kind. Thank you very, very much. That is so kind of you. Oh my gosh. That is, I just looked and I'm like, wow, that is so nice of you. I really, really appreciate your support. That really means so much. And there are, yes, I'm a lottery winner, but there are costs on this channel as well. I have an editor working for me and some other, there are costs. So it legitimately helps the channel. So that's how this channel operates. So that is very, very nice of you, NZ, for the 220 super. That is, and with message, thank you, Timothy, with the two, I believe those are doves, but those are, man, geez, wow. Thank you very much. That is so kind of you. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, so let's get to some questions here live. That is nice. Shorty Duop agrees. Yes. Tim, I was wondering, do you feel different since you won? Like, did you feel more confident in life? Mergen. Thank you for your question. I think, was I more confident in life after winning? I've never really, that's a really interesting question, actually. I think that it definitely helped with, it didn't hurt confidence by any means. I think I was confident prior to winning, though. So I think it just perhaps made me learn a lot about other people and about relationships and about how the perception, how you're perceived when you, at least how I was and how I felt, how I was perceived after winning. I felt the same inside, other than all these things I was dealing with on the outside, for other people perceiving me differently. So that was sort of a learning curve, but it was interesting. Okay. He did interview me about sudden wealth syndrome. It's a very real thing. Paul Jensen. Oh, well, there we go. Paul, yes, thank you so much for joining. I'm so glad that you're in the live chat. Thank you so much. Yes, sudden wealth syndrome. And it's a very interesting topic and a very interesting interview as well. And I'm so excited and so appreciative for your time. Thank you so much. And it's great to see you in the live chat. That's awesome. Timothy, I had a vivid dream of winning 500,000, winning the lottery scratch off. What could that indicate? Well, hopefully it indicates winning 500,000 on a lottery scratch off. If a ticket goes up, hopefully that's what that means. I don't know. That's amazing. Do your dreams come true? They do for some people. And it's possible. It's always possible if you play. Never spend more than you can afford, though. Play responsibly. I have to be that guy, but it's true. Hey, Tim, do you wish you'd had won more money? Mario. No, not really. I feel grateful for everything that I have, and grateful, like, I'm just extremely grateful for everything. Just to be alive. I feel to be alive, I'm very grateful. And for, relationships and for life, I think, the odds of even being born as a human being with your exact genetic makeup, those odds are, the odds of winning, you could win the lottery millions of times over before the odds of being born like that. It's when you look at it that way. I just feel grateful for everything. Hi, Tim. Are you planning to host another lottery director in the multi-state lottery? I have a question that crossed my mind. Is the lottery draw genuinely live or pre-recorded? Hudson Santiago, thank you for your question. I definitely want to interview and plan to interview more experts on that side of things with the lottery. So I definitely I do have intentions on doing that because a lot of people do have questions that are not addressed a lot of times in our mass media. And I think that it would be really interesting. So absolutely, the answer is yes. Hi, is Cynthia Stafford doing any follow up from your last interview? Asks Kia. Yes, I actually interviewed Cynthia Stafford for a follow up, so that has happened, and it was an extremely interesting interview. She's such a positive person. I'm so excited to share that with you. So watch for that in the coming weeks. Thank you for your question. She won 112 million Mega Millions jackpot, but her story is really a few years ago, but her story is really intriguing for a number of reasons way beyond that, including that she strongly believes in manifestation and visualized that exact amount and then won that exact amount. So what mic are you using? Sounds good. Solia T. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you like it. This is a Shure microphone. I'm not sure, no pun intended, I'm not sure of the model number, but it's a Shure microphone. That's the brand. And I'm glad that you like it. Thank you so much. I love the interview with you both. I'm so glad that you loved the interview with Cynthia Stafford. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. What do you need to bring with you, and what papers do you fill out to claim your prize? Sagittarius rising. So there's someone that's into astrology. I assume you're into astrology, but if you where do you, it depends upon where you win, I think, is the answer to that. So I honestly don't know, because I don't know where you are and I don't know what game it is. And I would check though, because I don't think it's too hard to find out what you need to bring if you check with the lottery office and the rules of the game. And certainly if you win a jackpot, you can contact them and I'm sure that they will tell you what you need. I do think if you win a major prize, like a major prize, then I think it's best. Not everyone does this, but I think it's best to get experts helping you behind the scenes before you turn in the ticket. Like, what are the rules if you can claim it publicly versus anonymously? It really varies depending upon the country, depending upon the state. So it's good to understand that before you turn in. And beyond that, a lot of people don't understand, at least I didn't at the age of 21, and a lot of people don't, like, what you're going to, like, how are you going to handle that? How is it going to be invested? Are you just going to drop it into a checking or savings account? Probably not. Timothy, after winning Timothy, after winning, what a person needs most? Swaminathan Iyer, thank you for your question. I think happiness is very important, and that's a really vague answer. But I think that's important to everybody. Like, everybody, happiness is so important, and there's different ways of. I think that's really what most of us are seeking in life, is happiness. So, and money doesn't buy everything. Money doesn't buy everything. It can buy a lot, though. It can buy opportunities. It can help alleviate stress and that sort of thing. But there are some very wealthy people that are extremely unhappy. So that's true too. Joy, gratitude are two of the most powerful ones, says D27. Okay. Tim, what was the first thing you splurged after you won, and how did it initially feel when you had all that money in a bank account under your name? The first thing I splurged on was a video game system, because I was 21 years old and that's where my mindset was. It was something I couldn't afford working at a gas station. And how did that feel when you had all that money in a bank account under your name? It felt really surreal. I mean, it took a while to, like, I just felt sort of shell shocked. And, like, I don't know. It felt like a dream. It really felt like a dream. Tim, other than your lottery dream, what's the next most significant precog dream that came true? Sorrel Fraser. So Sorrel Fraser, thank you so much for your question. And Sorrel Fraser actually is also a lottery winner. And that interview was released, I want to say 2 weeks ago, but not too long ago. So you can check that out. She won a postcode lottery in England, but her story is really, really interesting. And so you guys are going to check that out. But she's asking, what is the most significant precog dream other than the one about the lottery? And that's a really good question. I've had so many dreams about things before before they have happened. I know I'm going to say one here and then I'm going to think, I should have thought of this other one because I've had so many. I've had, there was one that sticks out. Oh, humble introvert with the 999 super. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And I'm going to get to your question in just a second. But so another dream I had, one was, there's so many. So one that I've mentioned on this channel before was that I don't know if this is the most significant. It just sticks out in my mind. But I was having my newspaper stolen every single day, and I was a journalism student, a broadcast news student going to college, and it was stolen every morning when I got up, which wasn't too early at the time. And so I put my intention out there through prayer to understand why this newspaper was disappearing and who was taking it. And then I had this very vivid dream about seeing this person, this kid, like come up, and he was about to get the newspaper, and it was so real. It's one of those dreams that was just so real that I knew that this was happening. And so I rushed outside to this driveway, and I saw this kid coming up about to grab the newspaper, and I just looked at him, and he never I glared at him, and he didn't take the newspaper again. But that sort of thing has happened several times, and it's really interesting. But I don't know that that's the most significant, but it is one that comes to mind. But thank you so much for your question. I really appreciate that, Sorrel Fraser. So the 999 super from Humble Introvert, so kind and generous of you. Thank you so much. Who is asking, how would you deal with sudden wealth syndrome / survival remorse if you won today? Oh, and Humble Introvert, how would I deal with that if I won today? Sudden wealth syndrome, survival remorse. I would say that, I already dealt with that. So I feel that I don't think I would be affected by it as much as I was back then, because for one thing, I was working at a gas station, and I was 21 years old. Most of my peers were also working at similar jobs or trying to put themselves through college. Nobody, at least my circle of people that I was surrounded by, I don't think any of them, or most of them at least, were not wealthy. And so all of a sudden I was this outlier, this outcast. I don't want to say outcast, but outlier. And I didn't really have that in common with anybody. So I felt that I wanted to help everybody, yet I didn't feel that I could necessarily do that if I wanted to be financially responsible. So I did help a lot of people, so that's for sure. But I was trying to be responsible as well. So there's a lot of stuff to deal with psychologically, I would say. But today, if that were to happen, I think I would be able to. I've been dealing with that for so long now that I think now I have a better sense of when it's right and how it's right, like how to deal with that if you want to help other people or if you can't help other people, and to do it on your own terms. And so, yeah, but everybody's different. But thank you so much for the super and for your question. And oh my gosh, look at this. Wow. There is a super from, Sherry Frantz. Oh my gosh. Sherry Frantz, a super for $110, who gives a sunflower and a smiley face and says, hope you have a calm day. That is so unbelievably generous and kind. After this other super that was extremely generous and kind for 220. So that, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say. I'm just, thank you so much. That really helps support this channel, and it means so much to me personally, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. That is so kind and generous of you. And okay. Oh yeah, Paul just okay. Tim, like, you've had several precognition dreams as well. So real from a small incidents to major ones, and usually there are heads up type of notice. So I've learned to pay attention to dreams, says Razzie Cat. Absolutely. Razzie Cat, I like the way you think. I think dreams, I mean, I just interviewed a dream expert for the second time, Teresa Chung. She's very interesting and best-selling author, and she's very interesting person. And that interview is coming soon. But I agree with you. There are so many dreams about things before they happen, and some people brush it off as coincidence, but you know, there's a lot of things that are really difficult to do that with. Yes, Shorty Doo Up, Tina Turner. Yes, I saw. Yes, rest in peace, Tina Turner. I believe I saw the headline that she has passed away, which is not the subject of this chat, but for anyone that appreciates old school music, I mean, she's a legend, right? Okay, Sherry France is rocking from New Zealand. She is. She is rocking from New Zealand, and she is like such a huge supporter of this channel. I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sherry. If I buy you a first class ticket to come to South Carolina to do my interview with you, I will be anonymous because the state is anonymous. I will hit 227 million on Wednesday Powerball for Maryland. Mystical Mafia. Mystical Mafia. Wow, that's awesome. Let's make that happen. I can definitely, absolutely, 100% keep you anonymous if you win a major jackpot and you choose to do an interview with me. I can, as I said previously in previous lives and other videos, I can blur faces, I can disguise voices, I can make you look like Darth Vader, not look like Darth Vader. I'm sure I could do that too, but sound like Darth Vader. And there's lots of ways you can avoid talking about certain subjects. You don't have to disclose your location. So, okay, on your next, so I look forward to it. Mystic Mafia, definitely. Do you feel any different after come to England, Tim? We will welcome you. Linda, thank you so much, Linda. I really appreciate it. I would love to. I would love to go to England and interview some lottery winners over there. There's some really extraordinary stories coming out of England and other places around there. So, Tim, have you ever had any messages in your dreams from past loved ones and friends? Sorrel Fraser, yes, I have. And I strongly do believe in that sort of thing. I have, and I've dreamt of certain details of people that have shown me things in dreams, and then I asked someone, "Hey, was great aunt, this person, did this happen to them? Were they actually into this?" And then they'd say, "Yes, she did. How did you know that?" And well, I just dreamt about it. Okay, Tina Turner is having the time of her life right now, and she's not Tina Turner anymore. Well, we're lucky that she has this legacy of music that we still can listen to, though. Did you feel any different after your dream? Did the dream inspire you to play the lottery because you knew you would win, or did you just have more faith that it was possible for you? Did you feel any different? Yes, I did feel different. I did feel different because prior to that, I don't know if I fully believed that I would, win. So the dream convinced me. It convinced me that it would likely happen. So, and some people think that's coincidence. If that's you watching this, that's okay with me. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. Did you move after you? But I am here to, tell my story and interview other people about their stories, about their lottery wins and overcoming the odds. It's not just the lottery and coming into sudden wealth, because that's interesting too. Tim, some of my friends told me lottery winning money separates a person from his near and dear ones. Is it true? So I think it probably depends upon the person. It depends upon the lottery winner and who surrounds them. And where they are in life. That would be my answer. So I think it's true for some people, but probably not for everybody, because everybody's different, Do you always play quick pick when you play the lottery? Mike James. I would play quick pick if I were to play the lottery, unless I had something happen with that convinced me, that inspired me with certain numbers. So this person I just interviewed yesterday, actually, that won, I believe it was 45 million in New York. And that person played specific numbers and was inspired by a dream. So, and I'm not going to go into detail about that person's story until the interview is released, but it's interesting. I don't know if the numbers actually were inspired by a dream, but he's playing certain numbers, and then the dream he was inspired. Like he really has an incredible story. Hi Timothy, I really appreciate you being on YouTube. How long were you working in the gas station? Also, were you always happy after you dreamt you were going to win, even though you were still working? Melissa Ong. Melissa, I don't know if I was always happy working at the gas station, but I was happy a lot of the time. This might sound surprising to people, but I really enjoyed the social aspect of it. I enjoyed being connected to so many people. I felt like it was very social. And as I mentioned earlier in the live, like my dating life was when I worked at a gas station, it was pretty thriving, which you might not think for a gas station clerk, but I actually met people at the gas station that I dated. I mean, it happened. So it wasn't all bad, but I wasn't making very much money. So, which is why I worked like 40 to 60 hours a week, which in the United States is quite a bit. Tim, since winning the lottery, have you used your money to acquire a new skill, taking language classes, sculpting classes, singing, acting classes? Thank you so much for your question. Thank you so much for your question, Sorrel Fraser. Yes, I mean, I went back to college, which I might have done if I had not won the lottery. I mean, I would have done because that's what I was trying to. That's one of the reasons why I was working. But yes, I mean, I've taken foreign languages, German, some Spanish, and I'm involved. I mean, I do Muay Thai now, Muay Thai, mixed martial arts. Not that I'm competing by any means, but I love that type of thing. I love journalism, broadcast news, film. I've worked in that field, like in various productions since graduating college and when I was in college. So yes, thank you so much for your question. This chat session is full of so many fun and different personalities. Paul Jensen, thank you so much. And again, I'm so flattered that you're in the chat because we spoke about sudden wealth syndrome not too long ago, and that has not yet been released, but it's a very interesting topic, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. A wise blonde man once made a YouTube short stating, whether you think you can or can't, you're right. Space Trader. Space Trader, thank you so much. And that is a really, I think, true quote. And it's interesting when I was interviewing Dr. Joe Gallenberger about his experience and his research and everything into manifestation and all this sort of thing. And he's one of the most credible people in the world studying this sort of thing, who has experience, leads teams of people to Las Vegas to try to influence the outcomes of certain games. So it's really interesting. But he mentioned that in addition to whether you think you can or you can't, that you're right, which I believe Henry Ford initially said that. In addition to that, Dr. Gallenberger said, whether you feel you can or you feel you can't, you're right. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but is it still exciting to know? Hold on a second. Okay. Hey, Timothy, do you have to hire bodyguards like Edwin Castro after you claimed your lottery winnings? Eric Royce. Well, Eric Royce, I did not win a $2 billion jackpot, so I did not hire bodyguards after I won. But thank you for your question. It's crazy, actually. I just saw a story. There are actually paparazzis following him, like taking pictures because apparently, I mean, maybe it sells. I don't know, but he hasn't done any interviews. I would love to get Edwin Castro on this, to interview him and to speak with him and just to be real, but also to keep any information that he doesn't want to speak about private, because he seems like, I mean, he didn't attend the press conference, so I think that he's trying to stay private. In California, your name is released publicly. He didn't have a choice about that, but it's really, I'm so happy for him. He won a staggering amount of money, and it's interesting. It's legitimately interesting. And I mean, I could go on and on, but let's get to a couple more questions here. We don't have too much more time here today, but hi, Tim. I'll contact you soon for an interview once I win. Umadi Yasin. Thank you so much. And that reminds me, and I look forward to that. And that reminds me, if you or anyone you know, but especially you watching this, any of you, if you have a story of overcoming the odds or anything that you think would be a good fit for this channel, email my team. The email address is in the description of this YouTube channel. And yeah, email my team for consideration because we are taking new tests, even if it's a short testimonial or a longer podcast interview. Oh, German, wie geht's, Tim? Yes, Deutschland. Great interviews, Diana. Thank you so much, Diana. I really appreciate your support. That's so kind of you. Tony Edge, Timothy, before you won the lottery, did you study any law of attraction / positive thinking teachers such as Neville Goddard, Wayne Dyer, Tony Edge? Tony, no, I did not. I wasn't familiar with those teachers, those people prior to winning. Now I am, because there's so many people that are into that. I've done a lot of research into it and find it fascinating. So, but at the time I did not, was not familiar with them. Okay, I'm sending an email about my spiritual awakening that left me pretty much like it now in my lottery win. Okay, well, thanks for emailing my team about your experience. Thank you so much. You're so humble and always thankful. Thank you so much. It's so kind. It's one of the things that's really beautiful, for lack of a better word, that's extraordinary, that I love about these live chats, is that I get to connect with you guys like live, because it's one thing to just put out a video, which normally is what I do on this channel. Normally just put out videos and interviews. I'm putting out more and more interviews, producing more and more interviews, because that I really, really love that. And so many people have extraordinary stories. So I'm putting out more of those. But Tim, could you name? Okay. Let's go. Okay. Also a big fan of your channel. Well, thank you, Byron. Thank you very much. How long did it take for you to get the money? Can they deposit the money in a checking account? I believe it was a few weeks. I don't remember the exact time frame. In the United States, it typically takes a few weeks. Sorry, Tim. I don't like text and driving at left psych. Okay. My mom died and I went through hell, and now I can read minds and channel a source. I'm sorry for the typos. Mystical Mafia. Well, I'm sorry for your loss. It sounds like you are on a spiritual journey, and that's very positive. I saw a psychic a few weeks ago, actually. Someone, I didn't even, someone booked it for me. I did not book this. It was like a gift, and someone was like, oh, here, go see this psychic. So I did. And some of the things that this person told me about some of the people that had passed away in my life, I was like blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, how do you this person was seeing this in their mind. Rihanna McKay with a 550 super from the California. Oh my gosh, Rihanna McKay, thank you so much. That is so kind of you. Thank you very much. That is so kind of you. Oh, wow. Sherry France with a $55 super. Like, oh my gosh, that's almost stopping this. Oh my gosh, Seventh Son with 333. Wow, this is like getting inundated with supers. And Sherry's incredibly generous super here. She says, hey, hi, Tim. Hey, Tim. What did one eternal soul say to the other eternal soul? What took you so long? LOL. With the emoji with the halo. Have a good day. Thank you so much, Sherry France. She's so kind and so generous and thoughtful, and that really, really means a lot. Your support means so much. Thank you. Seventh Son says with a 333 super, and you have to love the 3 3s. Thank you very much. Who is asking, what are the ways to remain anonymous if you win? And the answer to that depends upon where you live and where you're claiming the ticket. Actually, where you I mean, if you're in the United States, it's where you purchase the ticket, which state that you purchased the ticket, because every state has different rules. So I actually produced a video that has not been released yet about about public about anonymous, like which states allow that, how to do that in the United States. So that's not out yet, but it really varies upon the state. So it's a great question though. And thank you for the super. Okay. Sherry. Okay. There are pictures of Edwin Castro, Paul Salazar. Okay. Sherry is a sweetheart. Well, yeah, I agree with that. This is so lovely. Neon the Phoenix. Neon the Phoenix. It's great to see you. Thank you for joining. Okay. Rihanna McKay. The day before you had your dream, you said before that you were feeling down on your luck. Can you explain that process in more detail? What was the meditative process like for you? Well, I mean, I was feeling that particular day when I had that dream about the lottery, I was feeling really disheartened when it came to my finances and my situation with having to live and work in a place where I didn't want to be. And so I just felt really down, and I'm a very spiritual person. I believe we're connected to something connected to something that's much larger than ourselves, and that's the true source of things. And I just laid down on this air mattress and just kind of opened myself up to the universe, like seeking help, but not necessarily from a lottery, just seeking to feel better and seeking, like, that's where my mindset was. And so it was another like out of body type dream, and within it I had already won the lottery. And then I woke up, and it took a little bit to understand that it hadn't happened. So it sounds kind of crazy, but that's what happened. Mario with with the 5 pound super. Mario with a good job. Kitty cat or I don't know if that's a cat, it might be a fox, but whatever. He says, good job. And I love his or her teeth. Mario, thank you so much for the 5 pound super. That is so generous of you. I'm so incredibly grateful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. I love your video. So I have to get going here in a couple minutes, guys, but I'm going to try to take at least one more question, maybe two. Were you trying to win the lottery before your dream happened, Kia? Yes, I was, but I didn't play very often. But it was on my mind because I sold tickets because I worked at a gas station. Hi, Timothy. Will you be... Okay, let's see. A couple more questions. Hi, Tim. I can feel that we will win 20 million Malaysian. Right, ring it very soon. Can I contact you for an interview then? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. If you win the lottery, or even if someone watching this, you've won a different prize that's not a lottery or anything that you think would be a good fit for this channel, email my team. Email my team. I want to hear all about it. We want to hear all about it. So thank you so much. So will you be having that psychic on your show, please? Laura Obera. Laura, thank you for the question. So that psychic, I don't know. Do you guys think I should have a psychic on this program? I mean, I know a few that are excellent. I've had some really crazy experiences, and I think that a lot of people are psychic. It depends how you define psychic, but it's really interesting. So I would love to. Hi, Tim. Okay. Could you tell us the day you made peace with who you became after you won? The day. I don't know if I don't know if I'm understanding your question correctly, but it wasn't a day that I made peace. I think it was more of a process that took time. Yes, to a psychic, says Kayla something. Well, and I'm not just saying something. The last name on your name here says something. So Kayla something. The answer is yes. Thank you so much. Hey, Tim, I really, really love your show. Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your support. You would be great. Yes. Yes, that would be great. And I would be grateful. Please bring the psychic. I am psychic, says Neon the Phoenix. Wow. What was the first thing you did when you won? The first thing I did was try to stay attached to planet Earth because it felt like a dream. It felt like a dream. I mean, it was really, really crazy. How was your family reaction? Well, most people were very supportive. Most people were very supportive. A couple people didn't believe me that it had even happened. It took them a little bit to understand that it had happened. And over time, I mean, there have been a couple relationships that have been strained. So unfortunately, most people have been very positive, though. Timothy, you're the best, good person. Thanks for the positive vibes around. Okay. All right. Well, I do need to get going, but oh my gosh. So, first of all, thank you, everyone, Sherry, and everyone else who gave these incredibly generous supers. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful. It means so much. It helps the channel, it helps support this channel, which is a labor of love, but there are costs with an editor and some other costs, and I really, really appreciate it. And it just means a lot that you would, you know, donate to the super that you. Oh, Peter P with a £5 super. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, this is like the super. This is Super Wednesday. Hi, Timothy. Could you please describe changes in your feelings from the moment you won until the moment when it wore off? Changing the Describe changes in your feelings from the moment you won until the moment when it wore off. Um, well, okay, so I do have to get going, but to abbreviate that, to summarize that, I think I mean, it was like a roller coaster. It felt like a roller coaster after I won. It felt really, really like crazy. I was like, how is this? I felt like I was living in a movie or something. I mean, it's just really like everything really, it felt like a movie. It felt like a dream. And over time, things sort of calmed down. And I learned a lot. I had some relationships that were both positive and negative things that I've learned about relationships and how money can affect or not affect relationships. And so I mean, that's really, really just the icing on the cake, just brushing the top of that topic. But it's an excellent question, and I really appreciate it. And the super. So I do need to go, but I really, really appreciate everyone's support. Thank you for watching. There are new interviews and videos coming soon. I mentioned some of the interviews at the beginning of this live that you guys can watch out for, or watch out for. Don't watch out for, literally watch them because they're extraordinary. Some people that have really, really interesting stories. Within the last few days, I've interviewed people that have won collectively over $200 million in lottery jackpots, but also other people have won incredible, incredible prizes. Someone that won what's known as the Super Bowl of rodeo, someone that experienced sudden wealth syndrome, someone that believes she manifested this prize package with Oprah Winfrey, and many more. So watch for that coming soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your support. It means the world, and I love these impromptu lives. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon with new interviews. Thank you.